So since you guys are not gonna be able to see it probably the day of and I'll be crazy busy, I'm just gonna do a tour now. So basically the main idea is you're gonna approach and see obviously the sticker displays. I still need to organize these. Right now, like a few of them are out of order. Then the first thing you might notice is this book right here. Inside the book, I included a piece of paper that has an FAQ on it, and it answers a lot of questions people usually ask me. The reason I didn't print this in the book is that a lot of this information will change over time. Like right now it says we have 30 parks, but eventually we'll have more than that. So this way it can stay like up to date without having to like reprint the book or edit the book itself. So I'll have that in there. And then the point of this catalog book is just so that people can see what the designs look like on the other sweatshirts. Because obviously I won't have a lot of the sweatshirts on hand, and they can look at the stickers, but they'll probably want to know what it looks like on the sweatshirt itself. And I think this will be super important. My goal also here is to just like advertise in general. And so I'm hoping that people might come and see this and be like, oh, okay, I don't want a sweatshirt that she has here, but I definitely want, you know, this redwood one. So I'm going to go to her website. The thing I thought of is that I'm gonna only be able to bring a small inventory of sweatshirts, and so I included a code here so that people, if they can't have their size because like it runs out of stock for some reason, they can still get it at the market price, so essentially $5 off if they just use that code. And then of course we have the patches here. I'm really hoping those do well. And then my plan with this little display is that this is where we're gonna be pre-made sticker packs. So I'm just gonna make a few. I'm probably gonna do like a batch of minis, a batch of just like the Utah parks that I have so far, stuff like that, so that people who want a good deal because they want a ton of stickers, they can just grab one of the pre-made packs. And right next door, this has nothing on it right now, but this will be where the crew necks are. So my plan is to hang as many as I can from up here that can be taken right away, and then to have packaged ones down here in these crates. Oh my gosh, Mischief. What are you doing? So that is the market setup so far, you guys. I'm like really excited for this. Okay, it is Wednesday, and the market starts on Friday. That's when we have to go set up and everything in the morning. Sorry, that's my door locking. And I've been doing more prep, a lot of prep today, kind of with the idea about not having to do anything tomorrow. And that way tomorrow I'm gonna just focus on the business stuff I need to and not be like flooded with the market. So yeah, this is how the setup is looking right now. Got everything all organized into the bins finally. I had to write all the prices down. I made these little packs like I talked about. Like, look at this hefty. This is the 3-inch sticker pack, $60. I'm not sure anyone's gonna go for it, but we'll see. And then I have the lineup of sweatshirts already ready. And everything has a price tag on it. So I'm mostly gonna try and keep the upper part stocked, and then I'll have more down here. And then I'll have others hidden behind, you know, under the table so that I can restock as needed. So yeah, that's how it's looking right here. My sister slept over the night before to come and help me. She's our designer, so she's very involved with our whole process. This market was hosted by this store that is like a gift shop, but it's also a plant nursery, and they have this huge greenhouse room, and that is where we got placed in it. So you can see it's kind of dead in here. It's because it's all film during setup, so there weren't many people. But we stayed for the first 2 hours, and there was quite the crowd that came in, which was super exciting, and we got to just meet some people. I brought us some stools to hang out on behind our stand, and it was really funny when people would like ask, do you have this park? And I could just like push the drawers forward and be like, yeah, it's right here. I had it all memorized where they were.
And turn them into wall art.
Yeah.
And then they did that for like 50 years.
And she died.
And then she died. And now he's still doing this.
Where's the mouse?
Look at it.
Oh my god. Hi guys, it's Sunday, so the market ended yesterday and we packed everything up. So let me just give you a little rundown of how everything went. I checked in on the market on Saturday, like in the afternoon, and then of course I was there for like the last 45 minutes because then we had to pack up afterwards. So I got to see the market at like different levels of activity and stuff like that. And I do think Saturday was way busier, which makes sense because people were off of work and off of school. I have one big complaint about this market, which is not a super big deal, but like a few days before I was about to start, they sent an email, like an email about the market, and in there they included like, oh, by the way, we're actually hosting an event on Friday night in this space. So between the first and second day, they were hosting an event in that space. And so we're going to move all your stuff after it closes and then move it back for the next morning. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't want people really touching my stuff, moving my table, moving my rack, moving my carefully organized sticker thing. And so I felt really weird about that. I didn't say anything, and I just kind of was like bracing myself when I came in Saturday morning and was worried about it. I think they must have taken pictures because they knew exactly how to set everything back up. Everything looked fine, but one of the sweatshirts was like completely filthy, like clearly went on the ground, clearly people stepped on it. And I know it happened when the move happened because it was a sweatshirt that was like in the back stock area. It wasn't one I had on display. Okay, it was in a basket underneath the table. And so when they were moving stuff, that must have happened. And I think it's gonna wash out. It's not like a super big deal, but I'm just annoyed. And like, honestly, I can't believe they chose to do that because my display was very like easy to take down and stuff like that. And wasn't super heavy, but like some of those other displays people had like were crazy elaborate, went up to the wall and had lights, and like I just can't imagine why they did that even. Like why, especially like the market ended at 6 and they said the event was at 7. And maybe it was like an easy event, but I just taking down and setting up within 1 hour is just crazy. So that's my one complaint. Oh, I have one more complaint, but this has nothing to do with this market, but with markets in general. But like, I came back on Saturday and there were random stickers on my table that were not mine. Like they were from some other vendor. And so I spent time going around to all the other vendors trying to find out where it went, because I'm like, this is like their inventory. And while I was doing that, I found my own stickers at other people's tables that people just left behind. So people are just frustrating, and that they don't realize like that's like literally yes, you didn't buy the sticker for $2, but now I lost $2 because who knows if I'm gonna like find it and claim that, you know? Setup and takedown were actually super easy because we had planned it all super well, and my stuff is not that elaborate. It was easy to put together. I did other things last night. I went to a movie afterwards, so it wasn't until this morning that I went through my stuff. And based on my inventory I brought and the inventory I came home with, it seems I sold at least 20 sweatshirts. I'm not totally sure. I'm on my math or on my documenting, so I'll just find out when I get the bill. But it seems like I sold at least 20, which is really good. I actually thought I only sold like 15, and it seems I might be closer to 25. I was telling my sister when we were driving home last night, I was like, okay, if I sold at least $1,000, then I think this was worth it. And if I sold at least $1,500, I think it was so worth it that it's like, I should definitely do it again. I feel like those are two different things, you know? It's like, oh, if I sold at least 500, then at least I don't regret it, which I definitely hit that, so that's not a worry. Because it cost me basically $100 to go to the event, and that was it. They didn't charge any commission fee on it. It was just the booth fee. And then there's just my own expenses, which were not too bad. I probably spent like $200 on other stuff. What really though is tricky is that I spent probably at least 10 hours preparing and then like being at and setting up everything for this event. 10 hours of my time, which is a lot of time. And I was telling my husband, because he was like, oh no, that's so great, like $1,600. And I'm like, okay, but what if I'd spent 10 whole hours one day just like making TikToks and making content and like doing advertising? I think I honestly, with 10 hours of time, I think I could make more than $1,600 in sales. Like maybe even way more than that, you know, especially if something goes viral, like that could be a lot more money. So was it worth it to spend 10 hours of time for that amount of money? And that's what I can't decide. And plus I don't know that exact number yet. So I'm going to end this video once I get that. It's probably going to be about a week, they said, where basically they have to finish doing all their stuff. They have to catch up. And then they're going to send a check and I think like an invoice where they explain like what they sold. And I'll know exactly how much I made because they sent it to me. So I do think it's going to be at least $1,600 because on sweatshirts alone. But I don't know. I have no idea like how much in stickers sold. I don't think it was that much, to be honest. But I have really no way of knowing because it's so hard to like tell a difference in like sticker stock. I don't know. And like a lot of sticker packs moved, it seemed. So I do think, yeah. And then also stickers are so cheap. Like I'd be surprised if it was like more than $100 in stickers, to be honest. But we'll see. What was super fun is that there were multiple people in the short time I was there who came up to me and were like, I follow you on TikTok, or I follow you on Instagram, or like we met at this other thing like years ago. And it's a little awkward first off because I don't know. It's like a lot of times I don't recognize them or I don't know them and I'm like, oh, thanks.
but it's really fun. Like, I love hearing people who are in the community and like my stuff. Like, that's never gonna get old. So this weekend I applied for another market in April, I think. And this is a market I have been to. Like, I actually have been to it many times and I love that market. And it's very similar in that it's going to be central checkout and there's going to be a ton of booths, but there's going to be like 3 times the amount of booths. It's like completely specifically just an artisan market. It's not combined with like the venue's other revenues streams or anything like that. That one I know though, like, has obviously more expensive booth fees and they collect commission on each sale. So I applied. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it because obviously I'm waiting to see the bill come in and then I'll kind of figure out if it really makes sense to do it. Like, I invested so much money in like the market display, and so like I wouldn't have those same costs if I were to go to another one. And so that's kind of what's driving me, where it's like, okay, first off, it's going to cost me less to go and it's going to take me less time because like I spend so much time marking stickers and I don't think I'm going to need to do that as much this another time around. The more I do it, the more experience I have, the less I have to invest in materials. I think it will make more and more sense, but we'll still see. So I'm going to try the Beehive Bazaar, I think, which, yeah, like I said, in April. And then the one I really want to try again is the Provo Farmers Market. The college town, like 20 minutes north of me, has like this giant farmers market and it has exploded. Like, I used to go when I was like in 2015 or 2017. And since then it has totally exploded. Like, it's massive. And I sold my embroidery hoops there like in 2017. And so I would love to go back and see how my stuff would do. Because I also did it in 2020. Was it 2020? Yeah, it was 2020 because it was an outdoor market. So they did it during COVID. And I sold like my entire inventory in 1 week. The farmers market runs through all of June through all of October. So that's like 4 months straight. And you pay like $30 each time you go. What sucks though, it is outside. And so it is like blistering hot. And like I would have to buy like a $500, $800 canopy or something like that. So, all right, guys, I will touch base again when I get my final bill. And it's not a bill because they're actually paying me, but when I get my final, amount on this market and give my final thoughts on it. So, okay, guys, I just got the final amount in the bill and it came with a check and it came with a kind of breakdown. I wish I had done something so they gave you an option where you could like give keywords on each item so you could know what it was. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm sure I can keep track, which I did mostly for sweatshirts, but like I have no idea what stickers really sold. So I said if I made 1,000, it was worth it. If I sold 1,500, it was so worth it, I would do it again. And my final is 1,710. That's my grand total. So I made more than that. That makes it very worth it. So all in all, a good ride. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe, please like this video, and comment what other videos you'd like to see. Bye.
I love you, 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 I love you.